Rookie here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
Okay.
Why? See, that's never a good sign. I open up an app and it automatically asks me to submit a crash report. I didn't even know it crashed yet. And no, I'm not going to. Because if I have an issue, I don't really care that everybody else gets it fixed, and I'm not going to submit it.
See, you're part of the problem.
I know. It's all about me. Texting 402-403-9478.
Oh, there's a testing.
And testing. Texting to us. Love getting rando texts when sitting on the couch in the evening watching TV.
Yeah.
This would be from hold on, let me see who this is from.
We had one yesterday. I think it was Laura, but I can't remember. She just posted it on Facebook. She liked how you said predicament.
Oh, predicament? Yeah.
Predicament. I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure he thinks he nailed it.
Just let me think that. I know it didn't sound right. It felt okay.
It felt good though, didn't it?
You know what it felt? It felt rural. It felt like something you would say.
Right?
You ran into
It's
a predicament
true.
down in the holler.
In a predicament.
Yeah.
Predicament.
That's what I was thinking.
That'd be about in the holler.
So we got a text from Sarah as I'm sitting on the couch last night, and OMG Pat, she says, I'm here at Don and Millie's. Pretty sure this is the HOA meeting, homeowners association meeting, happening right next to me, and they've been talking about trash cans for a while now. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I read that to Beth. She goes, oh, that's Don and Millie's. They do. She saw in the newsletter that they have HOA meetings at Don and Millie's. So it was that Don and Millie's, and we were the trash can string next door.
All of you hoodlums.
Yeah, us trashies,
heathens that leave your trash can out front. So they were gathered together.
Yeah, at the meeting, and they were having discussions.
You should have been there to be like, you could be the leader of the group.
No, I mean that's a lot of work. So although we could have had some margaritas and some kids meals, but then I wrote her something like, oh, that's awesome. And then she writes back, she goes, well, it sounds like there may be some amendments and some bylaws, more letters being sent, and a special meeting. LOL, be prepared. Like I am, Sarah. We are prepared.
I like that not only is she at Don and Millie's, she's at the right Don and Millie's, and she knew she was because she heard the homeowners association
at the right time.
And she probably maybe didn't realize that was the Don and Millie's.
I don't know.
Until you hear trash can talk.
Right.
And
I love it. Sarah, you're awesome.
Also had a couple of things. One was Barb. We were talking, actually both these pertain to the same topic. It was talking about the fact that mom and dad got smartphones, which is going really well. By the way, mom sent another text. She's doing pretty, let's see. Dad hasn't sent a text yet. Let me see what mom's latest one was real quick. We'll have text from mom's series, I'm sure.
I love that soon. Text from mom.
Why not?
And she sent an emoji already?
No.
Because it blew my mind when my dad sent an emoji. That made sense in the conversation.
She found where the exclamation points were stored. Oh. Remember, that's what she wrote me, and then says, my phone tells me I'm at 25%. Is that how much of a charge I have left, or how much I have left?
What?
I think she means, is that how much I have left or how much I need? Right? Okay. How do I find other symbols?
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I never thought of looking at a battery percentage thing that way.
I need 25 down. I need 25%.
Oh my gosh, I'm only at 75. Right. I might need 20. Like, we're going to show you the percentage that you need.
You never know.
Go find it.
And then how do I find the symbols like the question mark, explanation
mark.
That's all right. She may have been doing voice to text there because that's how that would happen. And then the next one was never mind, just found it, exclamation point. So she found it. Anyway, some people heard that. And first off, my cousin, I think that was the first one. I think she sent a text to mom because she found out that mom and dad had their smartphones.
That's awesome.
Which is great. So hi, Julie. Thank you for doing that. And then also got a note from Barb, and sad face because she heard us talking about getting the phones up and running and going through and culling out the contacts list because some of them are dead.
Yeah, that's too bad. I know.
Right? It is sad. And Barb said, she just found, she had a couple of phone numbers in there of, I think it was her mother-in-law had passed away and someone else. And I'm like, I know it is. It's terrible. I have a couple numbers in my phone intentionally. And I know they're there, that the person passed away. I have no interest in deleting them. And I also have a voicemail. Mm-hmm. And
that's cool.
That's from somebody who passed away a few years ago. And I make sure I've saved it when I got a new phone because I can't delete
Yeah,
it.
like voicemails and stuff like that. No, I would never.
And it was
delete
just
that.
random. I'm gonna go play golf. What are you up to? Kind of thing. Just one of those random voicemails.
Those are
Yeah.
cool things.
But
Some people, have you gotten the text back from someone? They're like, new phone, who dis? Like, how do you lose a contact? You text somebody, they don't know who it is, and you've texted them before.
I know.
When you get a new phone, and unless it was a situation like your parents where they had to type it in the contacts, I didn't make the cut.
had to right. You wonder about
Yeah.
that sometimes, and you hear people every once in a while. It's kind of funny. This brings this up because I just saw somebody did this weekend. They were going through their Facebook contacts and deleting people that they hadn't been in touch with. And I'm like, what? Are they taking up room?
Okay,
They're taking up
I do
space.
that.
Oh my god!
I do that. Because it's like on Facebook now. It used to be like, I want all of them, all 5,000 friends and blah blah. And now it's almost like the number of park people. Like
It's a boomerang
the
effect.
lower the number, the better. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to have 500 people that somebody I don't even know, I've never talked to in person. But yeah,
They're your friend.
I cut. But I don't go out and make I don't declare bankruptcy. I just do it. I just go in the middle of the night like a ninja and cut people off at the knees.
You do it on Twitter, you can blame Twitter
It's true.
because they do that
How
for
did
you.
that happen?
I know. I didn't know.
did
know.
that
I thought I
unfollow?
always followed you. That's really weird. I don't know
Yeah.
how that happened. So anyway, then the other one that came in was from Connie, and she sent me a link at DoSpace. They do cyber seniors every Wednesday morning.
I saw that was awesome. That's cool.
From 9 to noon, just so you know if you have anybody in your life that might benefit from this. From 9 to noon, you can go in. You need to have a membership, but the membership's free, and you can do that online at DoSpace on their website and fill out all the information. Then when you get there, tell them your name, and then they'll get your card. So you've got your membership. And you register to let them know you're going to be coming to Cyber Seniors. And I don't know if you have to put a time, but they say try to get there at least 30 minutes before the end of the session, so by 11:30. So plan on about 30 minutes that you'll need while you're there, and then they have volunteers that help people learn how to navigate their phones.
they have to be the most patient volunteers on the planet.
They're senior volunteers.
So they're patient.
They're patient. So they get
They're
it.
very patient.
I thought that was really cool.
It's a really good idea.
So I sent that to Mom, and she liked that idea. So I'm hoping, because I think also another benefit is for them, and granted, I don't have a hard time sitting down and talking to them if I can keep them focused.
Yeah.
Right. But I think that you benefit from being with people that are more like yourself when you're trying to learn. So you're all in the same boat. And having a bunch of other people that are there
Yeah.
that are going through, I got my first smartphone, and everybody there can commiserate together.
Because there's doesn't matter
how
how patient a child is to a parent or a parent is to a child. You're going to reach that level of frustration that only a child will or a parent will. When you're with another person, like a teacher or a group, you're not going to be as frustrated. They're not going to be as frustrated. So it's not going to end in a bloodbath like it normally would if you're for the 14th time you've accidentally deleted an app. You're like, you've got to be kidding me, Mom. Stop.
And Dad was doing it intentionally. Just jacking with me,
then
right?
There you go. Then the blood
Yeah.
pressure goes up.
Because you know what he did when he has his phone? Oh, this is hilarious. His contacts. Mom, she was secretarial school. She learned by the book. This is how you file things. Da da da. All of her contacts are last name first, which makes sense because everybody from the same family would be clustered
That
together.
makes sense. Yeah, no, that's
Last name first.
That's very smart.
Very smart. It is. I do first name first because that's just how I look people up.
Really?
Mine are
So if you have 9 Terrys,
I have 19 Johns.
so John, it's like, well, I got to call John. To just take it. I guess that also kind of makes sense too, because if you just meet someone and you put their first and last name in there, you're going to remember the first name before last. So I guess that also kind of makes
first
sense.
name. Dads were both way. So
How bad did that just tweak your OCD? That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about.
oh my God, it was hilarious because you're going through the list, and some of them he had in there twice, both ways.
That is awesome.
So I'd have under, Alice Zimmerman, and then later there's Zimmerman Alice. I'm like, Jesus.
I need a beer.
I was drinking one. I was.
What about nicknames? What if you just call somebody by their nickname and that's
He had those in there,
primarily
too?
so and then just that?
He had somewhere just phone numbers. The phone number was in the spot where the name's supposed to be.
See, that's it.
And I said, "Who is this?" And I look at it. I said, "No, Dad, that's the one that we just entered. That's the repair shop. This and that. Oh, I know that because he knew what the number was, so he'd just start the number and it would pop up.
Yeah, which is nice.
So, which makes sense, but no, it was too much. So now all of his are in there by first name.
Okay, it's
because I put him in the way I did.
Better
it.
organization.
Yeah, but mom's. Oh my god.
And let me guess, you got them both Androids.
The same phone.
Okay, that helps.
Exactly the same phone.
And it may in the same phone as you-ish, so you can help them through.
Close. It's real close. Yeah, it's very similar. I didn't show them the Google Play Store yet.
Don't, because they will go. They'll go broke.
Well, they're on unlimited, but you're right. It's the add-ons.
Yeah,
right?
and your dad will get like whatever. Angry Birds, and will start losing or whatever and get mad like most people do and start buying lives, and pretty soon he's into them for $1,000.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put
Careful,
some limits on there. I'm gonna have to
child. Careful. I'm telling you.
All right, then. What else do we have? This, and I got to mention this story, even though I know by the time you hear it, it'll be 24 hours later, and things will have changed. But this whole deal with Carson King in Iowa, he's the kid that had the Venmo, had the sign, send beer money kind of thing, and on game day. And lo and behold, a bunch of people did. So he got tons of money. So he said he was going to donate it all to the children's hospital there that everybody waves at.
Which is so cool.
Awesome story. It was phenomenal all the way through. And ended up, I think it was like $1 million. And he got some matching funds from Venmo and from Anheuser-Busch. And I think there were some other corporations that got involved as well. And then there was a story released last couple days ago. As I speak, it was Tuesday night when it came out.
Makes me sick.
And the Des Moines Register, and they decided to print a story about all of this stuff. But before you get done with the story, it ends on a sour note because it ends on, they decided to do what they call, hold on, what was the phrase they used? I got to find it. I've got this here because I was like, you don't do that. You can't tell me you do this on the regular.
Like to do it two people?
No, they just did a typical background check. This is a human interest story. Do you do a typical background check on everybody?
I wouldn't think so.
And how deep do you go? Oh, about 9 years. I don't know.
That's not typical.
This guy, his name is Aaron Calvin, and he was the writer, the reporter that worked there at the Des Moines Register. And apparently he dug so far into his past.
Okay, it kind of ends on a sour note. I think it's going to all turn up, though.
It will.
But it
will.
It ended kind of the way you feel you want something to end a little bit when you find out what they did. Yeah, it's gross.
It's true. He discovered 2 tweets from 2012, actually.
Okay.
This guy was 16 at the time. And they were in relation to he and some friends of his who were joking back and forth watching Comedy Central's Tosh.0.
Hilarious.
And the tweets he put out there were one was definitely racist. It was exactly what it was. Tosh.0 2012. You know what I mean? It was 20 whatever. This guy found those tweets, and apparently he did say something to him because it was in the story. And he says, I'm sick. I'm sick that I said that. I can't believe that my 16-year-old self found that humorous.
Which we've all said. Right.
And so he's moved on from that, obviously. Highly inappropriate. And he even apologized and said, God, that's terrible. I'm so sorry that I put those out there. The newspaper claims that they went back and forth on whether or not to print this whole deal. And they were like, okay, highly inappropriate. Shouldn't people know that they're donating money to this person of this caliber? This is some of the stuff that he said. Or do we just chalk it up to posts of a youthful mistake and omit the information? And it's one large extreme to another.
Right. You can't see the fact that it's an overall net positive for the Children's Hospital, for everybody. It's a lighthearted story that we could all use about now.
So Anheuser-Busch immediately dropped their sponsorship and their association with him. And then the backlash started.
Well, it's like Anheuser-Busch kind of not backed into a corner, whatever, with their decision is their decision. But from when the network dropping in Roseanne to all these other companies that anything that's mentioned, homophobia, racism, whatever, you just get accused of it. You see one thing from X amount of years ago. If you don't cut ties with them, then you're all of a sudden, without any investigation, anything, you're the bad person. So it's like Anheuser-Busch, they can't do anything. They had to.
I think they could.
Probably because of the way the stupid newspaper portrayed the whole thing.
It was part of it. I think they could have stood with him just to say, listen, this was a 16-year-old kid 8 years ago. 7 years ago.
And this
whatever
kid's
it
not
was.
getting any of the money. All those kids in
And
the hospital are.
Here's the deal. He's made over $1 million. They pledged $350,000, and they were going to absolutely follow through on that, no doubt. So that will continue. But since it's so frustrating because they call it the cancel culture.
Yep.
You do one thing wrong, you're
Done.
out. You're out. That's it. Nope, you can't talk. But after this all broke, and this was late on Tuesday night,
This is where it starts to get kind of sweet again. Yeah. I love this.
the Venmo account went haywire and is probably close to another $500,000,
Which is awesome.
has been raised since this went out. But this has been mentioned now. It's gone viral enough. The story started. It was just a whirling dervish in the middle of Iowa. And you ever want to see a way to bring the what would be the Iowa and Iowa State fans together? This did it.
Right. Which,
Immediately.
That never happens.
Never happens. Never happens. Des Moines Register did issue an apology from the
What about this reporter, though, got
editor.
exposed?
Yeah, Calvin.
Yeah. This is where I think
Calvin, by the way.
This is where I think it kind of gets a little sweet, where you see somebody that does this, obviously had too much time on his hand to dig through a 16-year-old's tweets from 12 whatever years ago.
2012. 7, 8
Yeah,
years
but
ago.
it kind of comes back and bites him a little
It
bit.
did, because you know what the internet does? They do it back to you. And they immediately started going through his old tweets, which he had not cleaned up. And they found a lot, not just two, but a lot of questionable tweets that were right along the same line as what he was making the accusations against Carson about. And so then ultimately the paper said they were going to be doing an internal investigation on their reporter.
Well, how about we just did
And I'm
one?
just thinking, wait, you do a, what did I say it was? A typical background check?
Typical background check.
On the profiles of a human interest story.
Yes, typical
Did you not do a typical background check on the kid you hired?
Nope.
Okay. So I'm sure everybody at the Des Moines Register wiped their accounts clean yesterday
Heck yes.
or the day before, right after that came out.
I'd like to hear from, like, if you text us or email us or something before you went, for people that have actually, what's it called? Sponged? Swabbed? What do you, when you clean something
Clean
up?
everything?
Is it,
What? Wiped it clean?
how many of you gone back on your timelines and deleted questionable stuff?
I never have.
I haven't either. I mean, I haven't.
I would.
I guarantee you I couldn't get a job any place other than a third world country if I didn't start our own company.
Well, I'm glad I hired you.
I mean, because there's just no, there's of what we had to do the last
You know
20
what?
years, there is no
No
way.
doubt. There's no doubt. There's got to be some stuff up there that
For sure.
probably should have second thought that. But,
Yeah.
but still, I'm sorry. I just don't have the time. I don't care to go digging back.
No,
I really don't.
Because people, and especially that far back, if you're not allowing people to change and grow, everybody's changing, they're growing, they're learning new things. What you believed at 16, you didn't believe at 18, and surely not 25. So, you can't, that's what drives me crazy about, like you said, the cancel culture, is that anytime someone does anything wrong, and it's not, I'm not saying racism isn't wrong, but even if it's not necessarily wrong, if it's against what a certain group of people believe, then that's it. You're done. We're not going to even listen to you.
They won't let people apologize either.
Right. And say,
That's-
listen, I'm sorry.
I was wrong. That's awful. And that's the first thing he said. And honestly, there was one really good post that said it's too bad that this reporter didn't find these and just immediately contact him and say, hey, you might want to go clean up your timeline because I found these two tweets, and just so nobody comes forward because you're doing such a great thing.
Yeah. It's
Just so it doesn't sully the reputation of what's
not thinking
going
about
on.
the kids losing the money at the hospital for whatever they needed it for.
Hospital hasn't said anything.
Of course not.
They're not.
It's too bad. It's
I'm sure they're
terrible.
just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
just please leave them alone. So anyway, I'm sure things have evolved since then because obviously we're rolling now, 2 days away from game day in Lincoln. We'll have another kid out there, no doubt, with a beer money sign because that worked so well.
Right. Hey, go on, get it if you can.
You know something else too? On Venmo, if you go to search Carson, there are about 30 other accounts with his name on it.
Really? People trying.
They were just made in 2019. And so it's just like one after another. His Venmo is Carson. It's Carson-King-25. There are Carson Kings from 0 to 30.
Of course.
That
Hey,
are on
might
there.
as well try.
And some even don't even say Carson King in the handle. They just change their name to Carson King in hopes somebody would send them money.
That was a huge business back in like the early 2000s, that if you saw a company that came out with a URL, but then you would go buy the URL that's kind of similar, like, I know this wouldn't ever be available, but Google, you'd go by GOOLGE.com. So if somebody fast types, then it goes to, you get all that traffic. So, and they're just hoping that somebody goes to Venmo and types it in and sends them money.
There was a Carson King spelled with 2 N's. Carson K-I-N-N-G. It was one of them. And you don't really see it unless you really look at it like, oh, I see what you did there.
Well, I only had to go back to May 29th until I found a tweet about me cupping my testicles while I watch TV. So there it is. And that was it.
There you go.
I thought I'd have to go back a lot farther than that. I am highly disappointed.
Apparently we haven't evolved.
Apparently not. Because that's when I was 45 still.
So that was still acceptable. And 16-year-old, you would have laughed at that.
Yes, I would have.
Would at 16, you ever imagine that you would ever say that out loud?
Still be holding my nuts when I watch TV? No. I thought for sure I would have evolved. But you know what? Damn it, it's comfortable.
Okay, so on that note, hi, Kugler.
Hi, Kugler Vision.
Did you see us coming? All right, so Kugler Vision, proud supporter, and we are proud to have them be a supporter. Honest to goodness, I really do appreciate them supporting our podcast. We've talked about how you can get your eyes checked, get the consultation, to have all the tests, and they really are. They're leaders in the field, best in the state of Nebraska when it comes to LASIK, and they are the only place in the state that offers all 7 options. This is an interesting thought, though. If you wear glasses or contacts, and you have for years and years and years, and you go to the eye doctor to get new prescriptions, or you break your lenses, or you pop a lens, or you break the frames, and if with kids, you're doing that all the time. So you're constantly buying new ones, and especially just the prescription. You got to update it every year. Your eyes change, and that's just typical. You're renting your vision.
Right. That's a crazy way to think about it, but it's 100%
Isn't
true.
it?
Yeah, it is. And also, don't forget about that tax-free money that you could have in that HSA account, because we're getting close to the end of the year, and it's terrible running through Walgreens the night before the new year trying to find stuff that's approved. So get something that's actually really valuable.
Right? So maybe start doing some planning ahead here. Right. So get the consultation taken care of. Then you can go in and find out what your options are, and then take a look at what that HSA or FSA says, and say, okay, let's do some planning here, because this will save you money in the future.
Do it.
There you go. KuglerVision.com.
You can go to patandjt.com, find out where you can listen to our podcast. Text us, 402-403-9478.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Parkville Media Production.